So if faith has both positive and negative effects, is there a way of harnessing the good while avoiding the bad? More and more people are saying, I'm not religious, but I am spiritual. And even committed believers are looking for new and more meaningful ways to practice their faith.
Rory, how are you?
Come on, Oliver, how's it going?
If you go into the woods today.
So I'm going for a walk in Barna Woods with charity founder and social campaigner Ruairí McKiernan.
It's a beautiful sign, one of my favourite signs.
Mr. Ruairí.
Years working in youth mental health services have taught him that spirituality has an important role to play, especially in a secular society.
The fact that, you know, moral teachings, for good or bad, by the church over years, do you think the collapse of all of that has had any effect, particularly on the development of young people now, growing up without any of those traditions?
I do think something is missing in the realm of what we might call the soul. In some ways, the dominant religion now is the religion of the market, the religion of capitalism, the altar of consumption, the altar of image, money, fame, success. It's not that we want to deny all of our modern materials and technologies and scientific developments, but the impact that that's having on people, on their minds, but also at a soul level, there's a lot of dysfunction, dis-ease, loneliness, depression, suicide, and something is not right.
I mean, we know so much about the collapse in mass attendances and so on, but there doesn't seem to be a corresponding fall in baptisms. People are still going through the sacraments. What do you put that down to?
I would say that there is a human desire to welcome our babies into the world with the tribe, and for the most part in Ireland we haven't always found the alternatives, but they're starting to emerge. I see people exploring Eastern traditions and pre-Christian traditions. There are things we can learn from other traditions and from the East, and maybe there's a beautiful thing to emerge from the convergence of East and West. Can we have our temple in the great outdoors, for instance?
Let's do a bit of tree hugging. I tell you what I was supposed to do.
Life is evolving, belief is evolving, and we need to be brave enough to try and evolve with it all, you know.
It's nice and quiet already.
One person whose beliefs have evolved is Ruairí's mother, Anne Keenahan. Once a regular mass-goer, she now teaches the ancient Chinese spiritual practice of Qigong in Connemara.
Hello. How are you? Do I have bow or do I hug? We'll have a little hug. So I've never tried yoga, Pilates, any of that stuff. So this is, you know, I'm a blank canvas for you. A few creaks and things like that there. Something's loosening out. Whew, feel that burn. I think it's trying to steady your mind to do everything slowly, might have.
That's one of the biggest benefits.
Or is it just thinking we need to check my email?
No, you don't. Just 12 movements will bring your energy into balance if you keep doing it, you know, and bring you into wellness. By the time you finish doing all the movements after paying attention, your mind has actually become calm.
Do you go to Mass at all anymore?
I do, not all the time, but I do, and I like to go into the church, you know, for the peace. God would be more a divine presence that is love, you know, peace, light, guidance, support, all that's good. It's bigger than us. If you're living your truth and you are kind and compassionate and not judging people, if you are getting on with your life and doing the best you can and, you know, helping people along the way, to me then you're doing what Jesus would call the way. Qigong leads you into Taoist meditation, which is, Tao is the way, and it's the same thing basically. It's the right way of living. I don't think you need all these rules that separate and divide.
Is the community element important when you're all doing it together?
Yeah. And when I had the group in Spiddle, there was one young girl and very busy. She said, "This is my mass, Anne." Yeah. Like we were joking, but it was her hour in the week for a spiritual connection.
Like most jokes, there's an element of truth in there.
It's been passed down in China for 4,000 years, so it's kept the Chinese healthier than most of the world. So.
If it's good enough for them in China, it shall surely go down well in Spiddle as well. I suppose the comedy mind in me wants to kind of be automatically cynical and you go, oh my God, it's ridiculous. And it's easy to dismiss it. But then when you meet someone like Anne, who's completely sincere, genuine about it, you've got to open your mind. And when you open your mind, you'll realise there are options there to heal the body and the soul, and the mind, mostly.
In the near future, there could be more